For me, my universe revolves, centres, beats around horses. Every day at 5 a.m, coffee in hand, I am with our beautiful herd of horses that we keep here on our property. Every morning I get to wake up and spend time with my beautiful horses. And I think all horse owners would nod their head in agreement that we take better care of our horses than ourselves. And I think from someone looking from the outside in, they would be asking why. Like, really? They give me wings. They allow me to be the bravest version of myself. They have allowed me to become a modern day explorer, a pioneer to discover unknown lands and foreign cultures, which is just, I'm eternally grateful for. I'm Kate, and this is my wonderful, mad circus of a family. Through my global company, Globetrotting, I get to ride all over the world. Here are my adventures. My father was a horseman and my mother also grew up riding. I remember vividly being plonked barefoot, 4 years of age at best, on my dad's homebred racehorse, Oakley. He was at least, or it felt like, 17 hands, a beautiful, gentle chestnut. And I had zero fear, just delight bubbling out of me. And then in my primary years, I remember golden afternoons spent riding through paddocks of sorghum and corn, sharing all my secrets to my beautiful horse. And then it wasn't until my 20s that I returned to horses. My father went on a horse riding safari in Africa and he came home and just raved about it. And so the following year I went with him on a riding safari in Kenya. From that moment became bewitched by horse travel. It was a complete rebirthing for me. And since that pivotal ride, horses have been the portal to the biggest, momentous moments in my life. And if you were to ask Stephen, he could quite possibly say, in order of preferences, he would believe that horses are number one, and then the girls, and then him. It's clearly not the case, but yeah.
Is your partner considering buying a horse? I'm here to warn you that, well, probably not the greatest idea. Because you get one, right? Yeah, that's all right. Expensive, a little bit, yeah. Then look what happens, right? You get more and more. And then, yeah, we got a problem.
Look, he may have a point, and I could not and would not be able to love and revel in this life without Stephen and his unwavering support. He knows all about shoveling shit, transporting horses, saddling. I mean, he's actually building horse shelters for me as I speak. But horses unequivocally prevent me from sleepwalking through life. And I know if you would ask Stephen right now, he would not want to be married to the non-horse version of me. I would be an absolute basket case. Through the horse's eyes and ears and the sound of their footfall, travel becomes technicolored. They have the ability, our beautiful horses, to transform the ordinary into extraordinary. And you ask any globetrotter who has done one of our rides and they will say the same thing.
Horses are a passion. For me, it's been my entire life, and the idea that I can combine the two, horses and travel and seeing the world from the back of a horse, is just something I didn't even realize was possible.
Why would you walk when you can take a horse, is my motto.
There's no better way to get involved in where you're travelling. You're moving at a slower pace, you're involved in the nature around you, you get to travel with the most wonderful people.
You spend all day exposed to that wildness. It's just absolutely addictive.
Being on a horse out on the plains and seeing the game, it still is a pinch me moment. Like, did that happen?
Being on a horse is incredibly liberating, and whatever you get to see, it feels much more authentic, and you are at one with nature because you're on an animal rather than a machine.
I travel on horseback because, wow, I could live in the saddle, to be honest. I love being on horseback. It's where I feel most at ease and most comfortable.
I cannot and I will not stop choosing this way of life, where I have the privilege to unveil different cultures, traverse lands that literally cannot be accessed unless you're on a horse, while sharing it with like-minded souls that become friends for life. I now have heart horses all around the world, like horses that I have connected with and will never forget their name, that have taken me places safely in India and Botswana, and it's just a remarkable bond that you can have with a horse for, a certain amount of time.
He's a satellite like me on the outer edges.
They just give and give and give. They're such generous creatures.
He really just listened to what I needed for that ride.
He's just been, you're going to make me cry already. he's just been, carried me beautifully.
I feel sad that I wouldn't see him again. Like, I'd like to see him again.
I thanked her every day, and it's silly. And I told her to look after the next person like she looked after me. She was amazing.
This is Badamar. He's named after a big mountain because he's solid and sturdy and beautiful and trusting and kind. I think he's the best pony I've ever ridden.
Horses have been the portal to the biggest momentous moments in my life. They have helped me time and time again to discover my wild self. And I know that sentiment will resonate with our beautiful Globetrotters because they have felt it too. This overwhelming sense of gratitude that just washes over you when you're riding a horse through nature. You feel invincible, absolutely invincible. So it's fair to say, God willing, in my 80s, when I'm toothless and my boobs are hanging down to my ankles, I hope and pray that I can spend the start and end of a day with our beautiful horses.